So this
Get
is
right back.
so this is the puzzle room that I'm in right now, and those who are not here, you can just tell tell Mirabot find Larry, and he'll teleport you to me.
Yeah, we could not do these tours without Murphac and his technical talents.
Hmm.
We use his own instances of places in the Denny Cavern so that and he has permission from Cyan to hack them. He's called a Grey Hat, I think it's called, which means
Yeah,
a good guy hacker that
something like that.
Cyan
Yeah.
gives permission.
Anyway, so this room was set up by Kadish as part of his puzzle. He put a giant clock on the wall, which is actually a hatch from a little trap chamber. That was actually a bit of a red herring because he put it there so that people would think that it was something that they need to figure out in order to solve the puzzle. The puzzle itself was actually basically an infrared beam that you had to stand into in front of for or I should say under, should say, for a certain length of time in order to get a set of stairs to appear. And the stair, I should say it's a ladder. There was there was in the original version of this a giant ball which Nicholas White referenced, and it blocked off the spiral passage that I'm currently walking up. And at the end of this passage, there is
A hole in the floor.
a hole in the floor which drops into the trap chamber I mentioned. Now, it's a little dark in here, so I don't see where the. There should have been something around here that I could touch in order to get the that hatched that makes up the clock to work.
I think it's motion activated.
It's probably deactivated at the moment and may not be
Mm.
working.
Well, it's
So
only a
Does it?
one-way access, so
yeah, so I was just going to see if I could get the thing to open. Uh,
let me.
no
Oh,
big.
this ladder went away. The ladder to upstairs.
Yeah. So what I'll just do is. Oops. I just tried linking to Mirabot to see if I could get out of this place, and and it turns out that Mirabot's in here with us.
Oh dear.
Um,
PM
Oh,
Mirobot to stand in front of the door. PM Mirobot to walk to, and you'll walk through the door.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, just go walk
or
space 5 or walk space
no,
1.
you don't want to walk that far, but you can
You
now
only
just find Larry because I'm outside.
walk 2 will get you through the thing, just
Yeah,
past the
Really?
door.
I
Yeah.
just
Okay.
jumped through it.
and the stairway or the ladder upward is.
Larry was trying to imprison us all.
Yeah, I didn't ask you to follow me. I was just going to go in there and see if I could open the door for you so that you could see it
Larry's
moving out of
prison
the way.
age.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
what we need.
Anyway, at this point, the steps of the ladder upward are disabled, and we probably shouldn't risk it using them anyway. Murphat, can you take us up to the top of this room? where that globe thing is.
Well, referring back to Earl's question, it would be really cool if Cyan would open up this, but I think there's some technical challenges to overcome.
Now, if you had managed to climb up the ladder and follow the pathway, then you wind up here. And this particular area, I've never figured out if the machine here actually has a purpose because it doesn't do anything. What happened is that when you got up here, you could touch a button and it would extend a walkway across from the far wall, which is where you see a door.
Looks like there's a little clock on a
Yeah,
door.
but that particular door would open up, and there would be a walkway that would extend across, and that's where we want to go next. Mirfak is across to where the stairs are.
Well.
These were the two obstacles, by the way, that kept the Denis from ever figuring out how to get to the tree sculpture. It's actually, can I walk across?
I know in the open cave you can. I mean, yeah, the open cave shard.
Oh, do walk.
Okay, I'm now across, so you can go ahead and find Larry to catch up.
Alright.
Mirabot is saying it's okay. Does that mean we can link to Mirabot? Let me type link to.
It's not link, it's W. When you're in the same age.
Okay, W puts me where I was already standing.
Yeah. Anyway, we are now at the top of the stairway that goes from the puzzle down to the bridge that you can see extending across to the tree when you're standing on the balcony.
It's a weird camera angle.
Yeah, I've got a really cool third-person view.
I want to take a picture of that. Let me get rid of...
One of our tourists is walking into the wall. Oh no. Oh, never mind.
I'm just gonna do the picture while I'm up here.
It's the
like
follow the yellow brick road path, right?
the invisible brick road.
Oh, that's interesting. Anyway.
You might have to go in first-person mode.
Yeah, that's what you need to do to navigate around here. It's be in first person.
Wow. I keep forgetting about this puzzle.
The interior of the tree, it's unknown what Kadish may have used it for, since no one but he ever managed to get here during his lifetime. Yisha used the spiral that you find on the floor here as a link to Kavir in the early days of her version of the Path of the Shell. However, nowadays the portal has been disabled and you go there by a different method. The last owner of the pub was Kadish, who proclaimed himself the grower. He scattered hints to the puzzle in the ages of Anone and Urkana. And Murphac, that view that I had when I first walked in here actually showed a one of the fireplace puzzle clues on the wall. Uh, can you switch back to that? It was the one where the light beam appeared solid. One of the things that I believe Yisha did when she modified the path of the shell is that she left a whole bunch of line drawings scattered around here and there. That when you put them all together on the proper grid, they actually showed you a pattern that you were supposed to punch on the um, puzzle panel in the fireplace of Mist Island. And that allowed you to access a little treat in the fireplace. Now, did we ever have any other questions?
Nothing there.
Don't see any.
Okay. Let's see, it's 12:49, so we got an hour and 10 minutes.
Yep.
Okay.
Real quick. Justin made a joke about the blue button that's near that big global structure. Do we know what that was supposed to do? Because I don't think. Did pushing that in the offline version, did that extend the bridge, or am I misremembering?
Excuse me. Right now, if you look over, you'll see the the piece from the fireplace puzzle that Yisha left here. It was the final piece, of course.
So Cyan created the online version first, and then when they had to change up the gameplay for the offline version. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the live version never made it to live because Ubisoft pulled the plug before Cyan could get the Path of the Shell Ages on the first Uru Live.
So
Interesting.
it was basically always in beta, but never. Okay, was it closed beta or open beta?
Uru Live, the first Uru Live went live in January of 2004. Ubisoft decided they weren't making enough money, so they shut it down in February of 2004. But it had been in beta, live beta, for almost a year, I think.
Okay.
Several months, anyways.
Did you participate in the beta, Arte?
No, that was before my retirement. I did not have the opportunity.
Yeah. I remember computers were not the most powerful back then either for online stuff.
Did any one of our tourists here participate in the beta?
5 years ago, though, too.
I did not join myself until GameTap, and that was in November of '06.
What's funny is I knew about GameTap in 2008, I believe, because another online site was the movies online was going around at the time, and I knew about the GameTap and wanted to sign up for it. So, but I didn't get into early till 2010. In 2011, my bad.
Okay. The next thing that I wanted to do today, if it can happen, is we're going to try and make it so that you can see what's outside the pub.
It's dark out there.
This is an interesting effect. I've never seen the spiral looking like this.
Ooh, that is interesting. I like that. I don't know why I like that picture. Feel free to take pictures. It's transparent. Wow. Looks like I can see a ground down there.
Makes it a lot easier to follow the path of the shell in this version.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm going to take a quick walk over across the bridge just in case we see things better from there. What's happening is that I want to see, as I mentioned before, I want you to see what's outside the pub. And so Murphak is trying to turn everything off so that we can look through the walls.
Stay in first person mode. There you go.
Oh, wow. This is an interesting view of it.
It looks like it goes stacked all the way up. So, Larry, I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
That ball is similar, and this is for a different tour, but this is similar to the ball in Onane. So, could it have been used as a watch device of some type for that age?
No,
You mean Minkata?
Not Makata, Onane.
No, the ball that was supposed to be in here was had a stone appearance. Whoa.
We got blue, orange. Let's go through the rainbow.
We've got some of it, but not all of the exterior scenery that we can see at the moment. If what you can see at the moment surrounding the pub itself are windows that from the Chitari residential district, which was on the side of Agara Island. Some of it would have been above ground up at the top, but the part that we can see, it's like the apartments that you see in the residential neighborhoods. Jateri was the home of a large common library for the upper classes. The district was constructed during the reign of King Jakreen and was named after his dead son. It was in Jateri that Agaeris, as part of his plot to destroy Denis, manipulated Veovis and Atris. This resulted in the imprisonment of Ovis, an action that eventually resulted in the fall of Denis. When Atris and Gin came back to Denis, they harvested blank books from the common library here. So like pretty much all Denis residential districts, a great deal of Chitari was underground, and and therefore you only see the windows into the apartments that are built into the cliff face. Let's see. Is this? What do we have here? Okay, we're back to looking at that. If we were able to show everything properly by making the building completely disappear, you would be able to see the Denis city across the lake the way that you can from the rest of Agra Island. Okay. Anyway, at this point, we've got an hour left, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next part of the tour. If you take a quick look at the stream window, I'm showing you a picture. Okay. Like almost everything else in their culture, the Denis inherited their religious beliefs from the Rone civilization they split off from when they moved to the caverns under New Mexico. Over the course of the 9,400 years that their city existed, the core religion they followed remained a fixture of their society, but their belief in it waxed and waned. The doctrine of the church even changed over time as new prophets appeared. Eventually, the number of Denis who followed splintered cults or cults of personality even outnumbered those who adhered to the original faith. The leader and founder of Denis and its first king, a man named Renaref, was devoutly religious. The Book of Earth that he wrote, and which became Denis, was specified that it would be in a harsh underground environment, partly for religious and philosophical reasons, and partly for safety from natural disasters. Rone and Denis religion revolved around two gods. The first and most important was named Yavo, and was also called the Maker. He was the creator god whom they believed was responsible for all of existence, and they believed that he had angels serving him. The second god was called Jakuth, and he was Yavo's competition for human souls. Strangely enough, according to the Rone creation story, the two of them apparently had a civil relationship with each other. In the story, Yavo personally introduced Jakuth to humanity and told them to listen to what he had to say. The two gods had ages of their own beyond those that men could reach through the art. When Denis died, they believed that they went to one or the other based on the decisions and actions of their lives, and that they had free will to choose which they were destined for by those decisions and actions. The spiritual ages were called the perfect age of Yavo, which was the Denis concept of heaven, and Jacuth's age, which was their concept of hell. Some of the basic tenets of their religion were, upon death, angels would appear to take your soul to the judgment age to be judged for their conduct in life. If people were good and had adhered to the will of Yavo, the angels took them to the perfect age. If people were bad and or had followed the will of Jacuth, they were sent to Jacuth's age. The second tenet was that angels could take people away to the perfect age before they died. Some people believed that this was the fate of the prophet Nehemiah, who had served as personal advisor to King Alcindar, and who disappeared after writing a book denouncing him. Others suspected that she was assassinated by the next king and her body was disposed of. The third tenet was that children under the age of majority, which was 25 by Denis accounting, were not judged by Yavo for their actions and decisions. Instead, their parents were held responsible for the actions of their children until they became adults. Fourth, there was a commandment of Yavo against adultery, which was codified into civil law by King Visha in the Denis 9th century. As you might imagine, some Denis ignored it, and that included a few of the kings. In fact, that law was repealed in the next generation by Visha's son, King Mararon. It is unknown if it was ever reinstated. Fifth, healing and miracles were possible through the grace of Yavo. Those tenets were put to the test during the reign of King Visha. He was a very religious man who forced into law a number of strict guidelines pertaining to marriage and adultery. Many say that the greatest mark of Visha's reign came about when his fifth son, who was a maintainer, was 50 years old. He was nearly killed during what should have been a routine patrol of some mages. It was suspected that he accidentally inhaled toxic gases, and he ended up falling into a deep coma that the healers thought he would never awaken from. In response, Visha gave a powerful public speech, boldly announcing to the people that Yavo would heal his son and that he would awaken again. Despite opposition from the church, 2 prophetesses who advised him, and the Guild of Healers, Visha maintained his faith in the recovery for over 3 years until the impossible happened and his son finally woke up. Although many Denis disagree with Visha's religious fanaticism, it is said there was not a single Denis citizen who was not shocked by the awakening and forced to look again at their own faith in Yavo. The events were chronicled in a book called The Miracle, which was written by a man named Tashan in the Denis year 1072, 75 years after Visha's death. When the Denis were writing